Welcome to another edition of the Scottish Pantheon. Today we are doing a very old and ancient goddess, Goddess Cailleach. I hope I pronounced the name right. If I did not, I am sorry. It is a very hard name to pronounce. During the video I will probably refer to her as the Hag, because that is one of her titles. And it's not disrespectful towards her because she is the oldest goddess of them all. In some cultures, she is the goddess. Like, no one's older than her. Not even my favorite god Ra and Newt, and she's older than all of them. So anyhow, some believe that she is the one that created everything because she's, the oldest. So anyhow, here is Goddess Cailleach, and I hope you enjoy her music. Blessed be.
Grandmother, I hear you calling. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear your stories on the wind. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear you calling. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear your stories on the wind. Keeper of wisdom, grandmother, grandmother, teacher of children, grandmother, grandmother, weave us together, grandmother, grandmother, lead us to darkness and beyond the veil. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear you calling. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear your stories on the wind. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear you calling. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear your stories on the wind. Grown through the ages, grandmother, grandmother, watching the children, grandmother, grandmother, your ancient eyes, grandmother, grandmother, see the beginning and see the end. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear you calling. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear your stories on the wind. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear you calling. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear your stories on the wind. I hear you calling. Grandmother, grandmother, leading us onward. Grandmother, grandmother, leading us onward. Grandmother, grandmother, circle is turning. Grandmother, grandmother, we are your echoes till you spiral round again. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear you calling. Grandmother, grandmother, I hear your stories on the wind.
Nobody ever knew how old the Cailleach was. And she'd been living for a long time in a small little cottage just at the edge of the village. And she'd been there as long as people could remember. And they were very curious as to her age. Now, the only one who had the authority to ask such a personal question was the parish priest. So they told him to go and visit her and find out. He didn't go on his own. He brought his assistant, the deacon, with him. He went into the house and asked her straight out, "How old are you?" Well, she said, "To tell you the truth, I can't remember. But I do know that on my birthday every year I killed a cow. And after I'd eaten it, I throw the bones up there to the attic. So if you want to find out how old I am, go on up to the attic and count them." Now the old priest, the legs weren't so good. He's full of arthritis in his knees from all the praying and the genuflecting. So he turned to the young deacon and said, "Go on up there, you're a young fellow, go up there and count them bones." So the deacon climbed up into the attic and began counting, and counting, and counting, and counting. And as far as we know, he's still up there counting.
Hello, welcome back to the Scottish Pantheon. We will keep going what Goddess Bheara is about. I'm just going to call her Crone because her name is very hard for me to pronounce right. I had to do the second part over again because it didn't save for some reason going to YouTube. So if you see this come up again in your inbox, I am sorry. Anyhow, Goddess Crone is goddess of many things, of 9 things. She is goddess of winter, weather, earth, hard truth, crops, sun, sky, the moon, death, rebirth. And what's interesting about the crown, I hope you liked my new edition. There was a story about her that I put the video in there. No one knows her true age because she is the oldest goddess. She was the very first goddess, according to the Celtic religion. And since she is that old, it's not surprising that she would be goddess of earth, sun, sky, and moon, and winter and weather, because she takes on all the aspects of earth, all the aspects of everything that's been around. And if you're into learning the cold hard truth and not having it sugar coated, she will actually do that for you. And you can also do rituals for the hard truth if you incorporate her. Um, and another thing is death and rebirth. They do go together. Without death, we wouldn't have life. So again, anyhow, next is her secret animals. Her secret animals is the wild bears, cats, deers, crows. And then again in the sacred animals, as you can see, she is a goddess that is in tune with everything, basically. If you live in the city and you cannot have woods to practice in, a sacred animal that you can keep for her is cats. And also the outside animals such as crows are everywhere, in the city and outside the city. And there is a story about crows being the carrier of souls of the dead. And if you live in nature, wild bears or deers, it's very peaceful to have an owner out in nature in the woods. Her sacred color is black, black being again a color that is misunderstood. Some people think that is the color of evil, when in fact black is the exact opposite. It spells negativity. Her sacred element, with no surprise, is earth. The best Sabbath to work with her on is Samhain. Her associated planet would be Earth. And stuff to keep on your altar for representations would be a staff, or a corn doll. Her sacred gemstones in this case, and not her horrible incense. Her sacred gemstones to work with would be black black agate, and the hagstone. The hagstone is very secret to all crones. So if you work with a goddess that is a crone of any religion, any pantheon, the hagstone is best. It really works with Hecate also, but I did not list that in my one video of Hecate. So Hecate would be a good one to use that with also. She has no mother or father because she was self-created and being the first goddess. Her level is basically she's married to all men, all mankind, which means that all men are very special to her. So being male, you would be considered her husband or her child. It's very difficult, but men are sacred to her. Had no divine children, but she did foster 50 children. So like Isis being the divine mother, anyhow she never had any kin of her own being divine. She did raise 2 children, Anubis and Horus. So anyhow, that is it for the goddess crone, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Blessed be.